Hold on, y'all. There we go. Guys, welcome to our weekly recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. As always, be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Share this live. Share it on your Twitter. Share it on your whatever you share with, on your text messaging with your cousin, your sister, all that stuff. Do it now. We're almost done with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for the entire season 2. And last night we got our final look at Mary Cosby. Final look. I love seeing you all in the chat. Guys, let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like the video. Drop those crowns and elephants in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Canada's in the building. Australia's in the building. Of course, New York City's in the building. I know the DMV's in the building. We appreciate you all being here. Don't forget, again, to share this live. We are going to get into all of this. I'm not going to even waste your time. Oh, someone says justice for Mary. Ooh, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Where do we hold on before we even get into that? There's something going on in the Bravo universe, and I want to kind of bring these into the live so that I can show you these documents before we get into what I want to talk about. So hold on one second. Let me just bring these things in first, because Andy Cohen retweeted something that someone had posted in regards to some legislation that's happening in Florida. Hey, everybody. I want to talk about that first before we get into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because a lot of you bring things to my attention. And when I say to you guys, I just need to look into something a little bit more, it's no offense to you. It's just that so many people connect me to information, and sometimes it comes to be true, sometimes it comes to be false. I got to do a little digging just to make sure that the information is true. So Andy Cohen retweeted. Okay, he didn't just retweet, he retweeted and shared his own opinion. He's like, what in the hell is happening? So in Florida, there's some sort of legislation being proposed. Okay, let me just bring it up to you, and let me not guess in regards to what it says. Ooh, let me bring this back down. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hold on. Let me make it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. So, as you can see, Andy Cohen, Father Andy, as you guys love to call him, I don't. Andy Cohen retweeted this. Shout out to Norma, who put me in the comment section to let me know what was happening, because there is an NBC Universal tie to the situation. So Judd Legum posted this, and it says, breaking: the sponsor of the Don't Say Gay bill in the Florida House, Joseph Harding, just introduced an amendment that would require schools to out LGBTQ students, even if the school believes the disclosure will result in abuse, abandonment, or neglect. So Andy retweeted, as you can see, and said, what in the actual F? But then people were in the comments saying, I believe the parent company of Bravo, which is NBC Universal, has donated to this particular politician. Okay. And some of you were connecting me to that information, and it seems as if it's true. Okay. Oh, hold on. Ooh, pressing all kinds of buttons. So these are the major donors that are major corporate contributors to the supporters of the Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. This doesn't mean that NBC or these donors had any idea that there was a connection. What I'm saying is that now that we know, we need to press these people, especially because we're talking about a Bravo show that is under the umbrella of NBC Universal. And I just thought it was interesting. And look, I'm going to give Andy credit. Maybe Andy decided to retweet it not knowing this, because he, advocate. However, maybe he knows he can't say it on his show because it does fall under NBC. So he was using this as a platform so that we would do something? Look, I'm trying to give him some sort of credibility here. Okay. So these are the donors. So we're not just talking about, NBC Universal. These are other donors as well. Oh, let me move this out of the way so you guys can see it. All of the donors. So there's Walgreens, there's Comcast, NBC Universal, there's Duke Energy, there's Charter, there's AT&T, Florida Realtors. Again, for those that are just joining us, we're talking about this Don't Say Gay bill that was introduced in the Florida House, okay, by Joseph Harding, who has received donations from these companies. Oh, let me see if I can, hold on, y'all. I think so. Again, you know what we did with the whole Jennie Wen situation. Your power, your voice is important. So let's continue this conversation on social media here as well. What will NBC and some of these other companies do going forward in regards to this? Because this bill, I can't even believe that there's an actual bill out there. Can you imagine if I was in high school right now or grammar school and someone has passed a law to out me? First of all, never mind your friends. What about your parents? Kids are getting kicked out of their homes for being gay, for being a lesbian, for being trans. We don't need legislation that's going to continue that sort of ignorance. Can someone call Heather Dubrow? Anyways, I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it. Happy President's Day. Kempire, where are you going with this? This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2 finale. Honestly, this has felt like the longest season ever. And that's not even a good way. And we've been big advocates for people to watch this show. But damn it, this was a sort of an unnecessary episode. Don't you think? It was unnecessary. There were a lot of little parts that I was just like, but I was able to watch it again without a problem, and I was thoroughly entertained. Mary Cosby, yes, she can be problematic and terrible in one instance, but she has provided a lot of humorous moments, even in this episode. The facial expressions. I love seeing her cute son, her and Robert Jr. going miniature golfing. That was a cute little scene. Not needed, but a cute little scene. Alex is on Twitch. What's going on, Alex? Alex says, very unnecessary, Kempire. Very unnecessary. Daniel says, Mary was funny this episode. She's funny every episode. Every episode, right? 6 months of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And the ratings have been okay. The ratings have been decent for Salt Lake City. They've been okay. I don't know what's going to be like for the third season, especially when they've lost Mary Cosby, and now they have another seat to fill with Jennie Wen. I know that they're currently casting. Okay. Let me hold on, y'all. Look, remember if you were here yesterday for my unboxing, let me take a sip. Oh my goodness. I really shouldn't sip too much of that while I'm live. Amber says Mary should sue. Sue who? Jennie or Bravo? Libra says I will probably not watch. And you're not the first person to say this. A lot of people, when the news that Mary Cosby may not be returning to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, a lot of people checked out. A lot of people checked out. This last episode with Mary Cosby, I'm glad we got it. But literally, when you see Mary Cosby go down those stairs and walk out, it's like, oh, this is the last time that we're ever going to see Mary Cosby. But I'm fast forwarding way ahead. Let me start from the beginning. So Lisa Barlow is planning her Vita party. I know a lot of you have opinions about this party. I don't know what it was. I watched the after show. Heather was making fun of the party. She just was like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Neither did we. Neither did we. I think Lisa just decided to throw a party to promote her brand on this show. Smart. It looks smart. Jen Shah. Can we talk about Jen? Wait, you know what I got to pull out? I got to pull out this picture because there's no way. Let's just talk about let's just talk about Jen Shah for a second. No matter how we feel about Jen Shah and what she's being accused of, there is such a light air. I don't know how. I don't know how there's a light air with this woman, but she provides funny. I love how she really does give back to her Polynesian roots and other Polynesians that are in Utah, because the moving company comes because she's going to downgrade from an almost 10,000 square foot home to a 4,500 square foot home. I mean, that's still a lot of square feet. That's still a lot of square feet. Okay. So she's walking them through and she has her second assistant. How are you paying for an assistant? Isn't all her assets frozen? But we were also asking, how is she paying for glam? Literally saw footage of them filming season 3 and she's throwing a birthday party for Coach Shah. Oh, I called him Coach Shah. You're welcome, Coach Shah. We'll do that for the season finale. Like, how are you paying for this? The movers say, well, if you want us to move all of this stuff, it's going to cost between $8,000 and $10,000. And a lot of you said, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, but I am very much like Jen Shah. I don't want to move my stuff. That's probably why I'm still here. I don't want to move. If I could pay someone to pack every single thing and I don't have to think about it, but that's how people steal your stuff. That's how people steal your stuff. I mean, I guess, but it's $8,000 to $10,000. But she didn't seem moved by it at all. She's just going to like, oh, another place for me to wash some money. Allegedly. 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 See, Southern Girl agrees with me. I feel you, Kempire. I hate moving. That's why I haven't moved in like 20 years. I might need some move though. I don't know. I don't know. Tara says the downgrade for Jen is nothing compared to the small jail cell she will be in soon. My God. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this is our recap. What I'm saying is for entertainment purposes only. That's what came to mind when she grinned. She grinned when he said $8,000 to $10,000. If you or I were going through what she was going through, I couldn't have the same light energy that Jen Shah has on this show. First of all, I don't think I could film. I would probably waste away because I stop eating. I would be like, $8,000 to $10,000. You can't give me a family discount. I know we're not family, but look, if there were black movers, I would have said the same thing. Can I get a discount? Sharon says her facial expression was like, wow, that's a lot for moving stuff. Delusion is bliss. Stephanie says she doesn't care, not her money. Brittany says Coach Shah will have her closet all to herself. I don't know what the closet in the new house looks like. We didn't get to see the new house. I guess that's what we're going to see in the new season. But based off of the video that we saw that leaked of their birthday party, I'm not sure if that was her house or if there was a special event space. But that didn't look, well, 4,500 for Skeet. Where is Skeet Davidson? Anyways, that's still a lot of space. It's only the 4 of them, and I know she had a relative move in with them. I don't know. Look. Oh my. Okay, this is not going to be functional for lives, y'all. I don't even feel like I'm halfway through. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring the other one back. This will just have to be like when I'm not live. Um, exactly. Jen don't care. Wow. I mean, she obviously doesn't. I think Jen Shah is delusional. Will I miss Jen Shah when she's gone? I kind of will. Because despite everything that she's going through, she's still funny. And we said it before for season one. Jen Shah was the star of season one. I can't rely. Heather makes me laugh too, but I can't rely on just Heather. I actually like Heather and Jen and their little quirkiness together. $8,000 to $10,000 to move. I would look if they told me that price and I had it, I'd pay for it. She did say that she might, move out some of the stuff herself, so maybe that will lower the price. $1,000, maybe. Yeah, God is for me says Jen is a narcissist through and through. A lot of people say that. Zoe says you can go visit her in jail. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Next month is when she's supposed to go to trial. She's the only one fighting this case now. Everyone has copped a plea. But at least we'll get her for one more season. For one more season. Hold on, y'all. I already missed. I did miss a super chat. Hold on. Did I miss it? Where did I do it? I apologize, y'all. I should have saved it and I didn't save it. Hold on, maybe I can catch it. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. I apologize if I just lost your super chat. Oh no, here it is. There we go. Dezan. There we go. Dezan, thank you so much for the super chat. Dezan says, I do not like Jennie. Why you got to throw things. We're gonna get to that. Because if there was any saving grace left for Jennie, she lost it last night. Thank you, Sharon Williams, for the super sticker. We appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Ooh, Petra says Heather went from funny to conniving. I mean, there are some videos, when Jennie was going off on Mary, where you see sort of Heather like hyping it up. Just saying. So look, they're all little producers. Lisa Barlow's a little producer. Whitney's a little producer. We will get to them. I don't want to get too far ahead. Heather, speaking of Heather, Heather holds a memorial for her dad who passed away during the pandemic. She has a couple of her siblings there, her kids, of course, her niece and nephew. Her mom doesn't come. Her other siblings do not come, including her sister. Rumor on the street, though, right before they filmed that scene, remember back in Vale, they were fighting, her and her sister, allegedly. So I think that's the reason why her sister didn't come to this, because it doesn't make sense to me why her sister wouldn't come. Maybe because of the relationship that she had with her dad. But I felt like this memorial was more about them leaving the church than her father. Or was that just me? It just kind of felt a little too about themselves as opposed to about the father. Not that we would really care, but I'm just saying. I don't want to call it a nothing scene because that's important to her. And I think that's one of the things that we love about Salt Lake City is that we're getting like this cult documentary on this Housewives show. We are literally getting a cult documentary. I mean, they're calling it a cult. I'm not calling the Mormon religion a cult. There are a few religions people will call a cult. Look, let me take a banana. It sidebar. Speaking of cults, new episode of my podcast, Kempire Radio, is out, and I said it might be a cult is the name of the episode because I feel like there are all kinds of cults out there. CrossFit might be a cult. Peloton people might be a cult. I might be a part of them now all of a sudden. Mary Cosby's church might be a cult, allegedly. The Mormons are ex-Mormons are talking about it being a cult. But Heather is really giving us that's Heather's storyline. I know a lot of people say that Heather doesn't have a storyline. No, Heather does have a storyline. It's about the journey of leaving the church. She's left the church, but the more she speaks out about the church, the more likely they're going to excommunicate her. I don't know what that is. Some of you in our TikTok live watch last night were telling me no, there's actual, they remove you from a book. A book. So there's like actual paperwork. Jamila says, yes, cults are everywhere. Um, Wait, Micah says, when did Lisa say that Heather was inbred? Was that on camera? I, I can't remember her exact words. I don't know if she said inbred, but she did say something about, she might have said that. But we already know Mary Cosby definitely did. In Zion. You remember, she was looking out the window, talking to herself. That was hard. Look, that was hard. Anyways, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our almost final time of talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for a while. Next week will be the start of a 3-part reunion. Not sure if they need that. Not sure if they need that, but I did post a link in the description for you guys to check out our initial reactions to the trailer for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2 reunion. Okay, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Hold on, y'all. Okay, Del, we'll talk about this because I really didn't want to talk about it. I really didn't want to watch this for a second time. But the first time it happened, I literally tuned out and and missed it all. Jack says, I've been down for a Kempire cult. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Yeah, Camila says 2-part reunion, Cat Bravo. Yeah. A lot of us last night were comparing the scene with Whitney and her husband, her storyline. Remember her storyline earlier? 6 months ago? It's been a long season. Whitney's storyline was that they were having problems in the bedroom. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. This week, she's doing, I wrote it down. It has a name. It actually has a name. Love is art. Love is art. First of all, not in my bedroom. We got to do that at a hotel. We got to do that at some other like space that's wrapped in plastic. I would not be. First of all, I don't want to see it. It was as awkward as watching Ashley Darby and Michael Darby. It was awkward. I didn't need to see all of that. I don't care about what you guys are doing in the bedroom. That was such another nothing scene. Love is art. Whitney needed a coconut oil bath. She looks dry. Probably all of that drinking. She loves to drink. That will dehydrate you. Literally, her boobs are out. She just had pasties over them. I was like, wow, are we showing this on television? And shout out to my Canadians that watched the TikTok watch party last night. Because we found out that scene with Heather and her family, that was cut for Canadians. Canadians couldn't see that scene. Maybe that was a good thing. Did they cut the Whitney part out? Because that really would have helped too. I always find it so interesting why they cut certain things for certain locations. Very interesting. So he says, Kempire's cult. What would be the rules? Be shady but nice to others? Oh. Yeah, Sister Wood says, I don't care what's it called. The scene was unnecessary. Yeah. It was unnecessary. It really gave me Ashley and Michael Darby vibes. I didn't need it. I didn't want to see it. Even watching it the second time around, I was just like, should I just fast forward through this? But I said, maybe I'm going to miss something. There's always those little funny details that we might miss. No, I didn't miss anything. Ugh. Guys, we have almost 900 people in our live chat for the season 2 finale of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let's get to 400 likes. Let's get to 400 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts on everything from the season. Everything from the season. What stuck out to you? Because this last episode was a nothing episode. It really was. But let's fast forward. Oh, wait, no, let's not fast forward because we started the top of this live talking about what's happening in regards to Florida's House and their don't say gay legislation. Meredith did do something good this episode, and that was bring attention and money to the LGBTQ Q community. But it's so hard to see people's true intentions. I like that she was making a donation to GLAAD. However, in the same breath, promote her jewelry line on the show. I didn't love the fashion for this. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted a photo of them and I said, "This is giving me TLC." Like the creep video. And I had no idea. I thought maybe we were promoting Brooks Mark's new suit line. No, they were promoting the jewelry. But it was for a good cause. It just felt very self-serving. But it was for a good cause. Quinn said it hurt my eyes. Trina says, or Tria says, very 90s. Just someone who says the finale was booty. Who thought at Bravo that was good? Yes, pajamas. Juan says, Juan says, I'm really going to miss Mary M. Cosby. Not the full name, but that's what everyone in Salt Lake City refers to her as. I don't know why. Is there another Mary Cosby that we don't know about? But here we are. Here we are. All right. Let's get to this Vita party. So Lisa, if you didn't know, has a tequila called Vita that no one seems to be able to find. I don't drink, and you guys know I don't drink. However, I love some of these liqueur bottles. They look so good. I'm like, I would love to just put like a Vita bottle backstage. I love pretty things. I would just love to put one behind me. I'm not begging for one. Maybe if I find one and I'm like, oh, but I'm just like, I don't need to promote Vita though. I don't need to promote Vita. But she throws this party. Of course, this is the final party. They always have some sort of final party, to wrap up the season. This is the final party, and it's an 80s theme. They kept on flashing the edit of like an 80s thing. Bravo, editors, we didn't need that. We didn't need that. I think that those editors were like, this is the last episode. Let's just go ham with the editing. We didn't need it. No one really even dressed up for the 80s, but Lisa didn't want people to really dress up for the 80s. The party looked, it's a pandemic, so I didn't expect it to look crowded. It just looked boring. And based on the after show, Heather was like, it was. It was boring. She had a lot of food though. In comparison to, don't let me pull out the Jersey picture again. I got to pull it out. Is this it? Yeah. It didn't look like this. The food. There was definitely a lot of food, a lot of different food options, but it was kind of like this. It was a weird party. It was a weird party. Mary Cosby shows up. Mary Cosby is just like, she doesn't want to talk to anyone. We don't see her interact with Meredith, her bestie. Not sure if something happened, but we don't really even see her interact with her. But she did interact with Seth. Apparently, Seth is the only one that went after her when she left after she was almost attacked and hit with glass by Jennie Nguyen. But all of these ladies were trying to look for a moment. As I said to you before, Heather loves to stir a pot, but Whitney does too. Whitney loves to stir a pot. Whitney literally goes over to Mary Cosby. First of all, before I even get to Whitney, Jennie Nguyen. Jennie was just like, oh, why doesn't Mary Cosby say hello to me? Why can't you go over and say hello to her if you really want to talk to her? That part I didn't understand. Why does she have to come to her? You see her too. Anyways, I know a lot of people are going to think people's opinions on Jennie when it's based off the Facebook stuff. Look, we can't help that. At this point, we can't help that. But Jennie's behavior in this episode was so desperate. As someone, I think even if we didn't know what we know about her, we would have been like, girl, you're doing way too much. You're doing way too much. Let me just say, hold on. Ooh, see, this is why. Obi, thank you so much for the super chat. Obi says, when microaggressions become violent, poor Mary, good judgment call on the reunion. Really? Thank you, Obi, for the super chat. I still would have liked her to come to the reunion, but it made more sense to me why she didn't, because at the end of that party, Mary literally says she felt like she had no friends. She had no friends. Oh my, T. Lou, really? Mary blocked me on Twitter. I don't know why. Maybe because she doesn't like what I have to say. Maybe because I talked about the alleged cult. But let's get back to the cult. So Whitney, again, wants to have a moment. I feel like these housewives, specifically in Salt Lake City, were just the same thing I was talking about Melissa in New Jersey. Where's the camera? Let me go there. Whitney goes over to Mary. She's like, can we talk? Mary's like, no. She's like, you're clearly inebriated. You're clearly drunk. She's just like, I don't want to talk to Whitney. She's always drinking. I can smell it on your breath. These are the moments that people are going to miss about Mary. It's like, oh. But it seemed like a desperate attempt at Whitney trying to get some camera time, to have a moment, because you were one of the biggest ones talking about this being a cult, and you had a 3-hour conversation with Cameron, but now you want to talk to Mary and apologize? Why would you apologize? Especially if you had a 3-hour conversation with Cameron and Cameron told you that they were lovers and this and that and this and that and whoa. Why would you want to sit there and apologize? That's the one thing I have to agree with Jennie. She's like, why are you apologizing? She's like, I wanted to apologize for calling it a cult. And then Jen Shah's like, is it not? Well, while she's having this conversation with Whitney, Jen Shah sits down, Jennie sits down, and she tries to get into the conversation. Jennie, no one is talking to you. And then all of a sudden it turns into Jennie getting in, trying to get in Mary's face. And all you see is Mary do this. Oh, I'm going to miss those faces. And then, of course, Mary is like, you know what? I'm disengaging. I'm going to get up. Whitney, you can come with me. We can have the conversation somewhere else. But of course, Jennie wants to have a moment. She knows it's the final, it's the wrap. It's the wrap for season 2. And she's getting in her face and da-da-da-da-da. And, at one point she pushes Whitney. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, Whitney, I'm sorry. And she's yelling at Mary Cosby for what? Yes, Mary Cosby has said terrible things about Jennie throughout the season. However, it just felt out of place. It's not like you were trying to have a conversation. Oh yeah, I didn't forget. Mary Cosby did call Jennie hood, and she was like, what do you know about the hood? You grew up in Utah. Is there not a hood in Utah? I'm just asking for a friend. Just saying. Logan says Jennie is like that mosquito that Jen was trying to kill inside. Why did we get there? Why Mary won't wait? Hold on. Why Mary won't attend the reunion show? I don't know. I kind of wish that she did, but she literally said at the end she felt like she had no friends. Felt like she had no friends in that moment. But here's the thing. The situation gets violent. And this is where I felt like it was so unnecessary. I understand why you might not like Mary because of the things that she said. You guys never connected, whatever it may be. But why did you have to throw a glass at her? She wasn't in your face. She was trying to walk away from the conversation, but you decided to take a glass and throw it at her. Really? That was so unnecessary. And Mary was like, I'm out of here. And according to Mary on the after show, she said that Seth, Meredith's husband, was the only one that came after her, not even Meredith. And Lisa was like, it's okay as long as you don't break any of the other stuff. Why is it okay for you to throw something? Why did you invite Mary? If you didn't want Mary to be there, why did you invite her to your Vita party? Oh, yeah, because you have to. But that's not okay. That's probably what they wanted her to do. Was she trying to have a moment? I love Jen Shah, though, when she, in her confession, was like, that was cute. I think when I threw mine, it went a little bit further. And in the after show, Jennie does recall that Jen did that. So obviously she was a fan watching the show and felt like, oh, let me have a moment. Because literally when we saw the preview of that, I said, oh, maybe something really happened that really invoked that type of anger. And literally, based on what we see, nothing. Mary is walking away and you're throwing something at her. Gustav says Mary just looked at Jennie like she was a worm. Um, Nicole says absolutely, Kempire. It felt like she was trying to have a moment. That entire situation felt. Whitney was trying to have a moment with Mary. Um, um, Jennie Wen was trying to have a moment with Mary. And it just went to this whole other place that it didn't need to go. I saw someone tweet Andy and said, Andy, I hope that you give a disclaimer at the reunion the same way that you did before for Potomac. We shall see if they give a disclaimer at New Jersey. But now that we're saying it, we know we're going to get a disclaimer. Maybe not. You know the level of ignorance over at Bravo sometimes. Melinda, thank you so much for the super chat. Melinda says, Jennie throwing that glass says a lot about her character. The aggression was telling. I agree. I'm just like, that was uncomfortable because you know what? Like I said to you before, straight shooter, pow, 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 pow. What Mary said to Jennie during the season was inappropriate, was terrible. However, it was so clear in this last episode, last scene, Jennie was trying to have a moment. And now I'm really glad not to see Jennie come back next season because we don't need someone that desperate that their storyline is that their husband wants a sister wife. Some of these, just saying. Let me just say thank you. Thank you, Kayana, for the super chat. Kayana says, why do they want to be friends with someone who they claim is a cult leader? Why do they care that Mary doesn't want to be friends with them? Weird. Here's the thing. They want to have relevance on the show. They know that Mary has a level of relevance on the show. Mary has people that enjoy watching her on the show. They want to have some sort of conflict with her so that they will have some relevance on the show. We've seen it before. We see with Lisa Rinna, probably why Lisa Rinna and Kathy Hilton are going at it. Lisa needs to have some sort of relevance. She has no other storyline. Sloan says, I love how Mary called Jennie a hood rat. Well, she said, are you getting hood? I'm going to miss Mary. Lord. It will be interesting. I have faith in producers. We shall see. I will give the first few episodes of next season a shot. Jen Shah is still there. One of the reasons why I enjoyed season 1 of Salt Lake City was because of Jen Shah and Heather Gay. So it will be interesting. But if we're going to see these ladies so desperate to create stories that there aren't any, that might be hard to watch. That might be hard to watch. Meredith, I said this last night. I'm going to say it again. And I know, Meredith, you follow me on Twitter. Hey, Meredith. Oh, Meredith, we had your back last week. Didn't we have Meredith's back the last, well, not last week, the week before? We had your back. We were like, they are wrong for bringing up your father and his funeral and his memorial. This week, girl, you on your own. You are on your own. Jen Shah, because she's a little producer too. Jen is a little producer. She's just like, are we good? Are we friends? Are we good? Are we friends? Meredith, because I feel for Jen in this situation because Jen had a sit down with Brooks. She apologized when they were on the icicles. And all of a sudden, Meredith is still having some sort of issue with her. So she's like, at this party, are we good? Are we friends? And Meredith is like, I can't be there for you. Why can you be there for me, Meredith? Why can you be there for me? I think I wrote it down. Meredith says she's still dealing with her own pain and trauma. Pain and trauma from what? Talking about her marriage the first season. I love how Jen Shah tries to spin it and make it seem as if it was Whitney that was talking about the marriage last season. I love that. She's delusional. She really is delusional. She thinks she's gonna win this court case too. Jen is like, no, Whitney was like, oh yeah, when we were in Vail. Jen was like, not when you were in Vail, last year. Meredith says, and then the conversation about her marriage comes up, and Meredith loses it. She loses it. You don't want me to talk about who's dating who? And apparently she says she has received information. Well, remember, word on the street, if you did see the video I did about allegedly Jen Shah was cheating, that she might have an open relationship with Coach Shah. Oh, Coach Shah, you really getting a coach this week. Coordinator Shah. And that Lisa Barlow cheated on that good husband of hers, allegedly. So apparently Meredith says she received information, but Meredith loses it in that moment. And one of the things I have to agree with Lisa Barlow is that she's just saying she wants to be your friend. That's what she's saying. Forget about everything else about last year, this year. What Jen Shah is saying is that she wants to be your friend. And I was like, yes, that's what she's saying. That's exactly what she's saying. But Meredith becomes unhinged. Meredith is like, I can talk about everybody's and who everybody's dating. And that's how they end the season. That's how they end the season. Of course, at the reunion, they're going to talk about that hot mic moment. There's another hot mic moment with Lisa Barlow. What is happening? I didn't expect that unhinged Meredith. Yes, we saw the preview of it, but it's just like, I thought maybe it was rightfully brought up. I thought maybe there was something someone said, because Jen can work a nerve. So I thought maybe she said something, and no, she got mad for no reason. Yes, he says, I have never begged to be someone's friend. They're all begging someone who doesn't like them. Sis on Moose says, I like Lisa Barlow's husband, not her, though. I think a lot of people do. All right, let me just read. We got a couple of super chats, guys, and then we're going to drop the call-in link. Let's get to 400 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. I am sipping on this thing, and I already need to go to the restroom. This is a mess. I don't know how people do it. Okay, Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, it felt like Mary was bullied at that party. It was hard to watch, and everyone laughing at her and disappointed at Jen Shah, person of color, for laughing along. And I think that's exactly what Mary was feeling in that moment, that everyone was looking at her and not helping her in that situation. They weren't trying to calm Jennie down. And then they didn't say anything when she threw that piece of glass. Thank you so much, Zoe, for the super chat. Melinda, thank you so much for the super chat. Melinda says, sounds like there might be an Eskimo sister story brewing for the reunion. Oh, Lord. Hold on. Uh-oh. Wait, Safe Cooks, I think it's the hate that keeps Meredith's mouth slanted to... Oh, Lord. It was such a bully move. Let me see. Right? Not even a producer. No one stepped in that moment. No one stepped in that moment. It was just weird. It was just weird. It was... Again, Meredith, I don't think Meredith was trying to have a moment. I think that Meredith didn't want the conversation to go to a place where it might reveal something, but she does walk out and says, we both dated people, when we were going through things. Okay. I still feel like there's more to Meredith that we don't know about. Not sure if we're going to see that in season 2. Season 3. All right. Again, guys, let's get to 400 likes. We'll drop the call in link so you guys can call in. We're going to take a little bit of a side break just because. And I want to be able to take all the callers that call in for our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2 finale. We're talking all about it. And if you're part of the replay crew, I want to know your thoughts on this episode. And if you are excited for the reunion or a season 3. And how would you rate this season? From 1 being, thank God Jennie's gone. 10 being, thank God Jennie's gone. All right. All right, let me just do this, y'all. I will be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. You was right and I was wrong. Yeah, I know. You was right and I was wrong. I need to learn to put my pride in my pocket. Ay. Yeah, I know. You was right and I admit it. That trade can be toxic. Ay. Yeah, I know. You was right. I'm just so stubborn at times. Stubborn at times. I know. You was right. I'm just so stubborn at times. Stubborn at times. I know. You was right. Hey, girl, I hate to see you cry, but that happens every single time we fight. Look, I'm far from a perfect guy, and I do anything to try to make it right. But you, baby, look, I know sometimes I act like I'm unbothered. If I end up losing you, baby, you make me better. But we have this forever. I promise I will change. I need to learn to put my pride in my pocket. Ay. Yeah, I know. You was right. I admit it. That trade can be toxic. Ay. Yeah, I know. You was right. I'm just so stubborn at times. Stubborn at times. I know. You was right. I'm just so stubborn at times. Stubborn at times. I know. You was right. The energy ain't been the same, but if we work on it, we surely can regain.
Shout out to Elijah. That is Stubborn. Guys, you can check that out and support him. Love that song. I'm a Taurus, so I'm stubborn. All right. Oh, these are some low ratings for the season. Yeah, the season was way too long. All right, guys, we are 5 likes away from 400. Like the video. We have almost 1,000 people watching the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2 finale. Look, I had to go take it. I'm not gonna take any more sips of this water. This is a lot. I don't even know if I'm even halfway through, y'all. I'm trying. Look, I'm trying. Delsenia says 8.5. Really, Delsenia? All right, a 6. All right. Okay. Micah says, are we rating the entire season? I'll give it a 7.5. Well, we were first rating the episode, but if we had to rate the entire season, I would definitely give it pretty high marks, probably an 8. I would probably give it a high 8 for the season. Stephanie said 5.666. Not a 3. Uh-oh. Okay, the entire season 6.76. Okay. All right. Let me drop the call in link, guys. I see we've reached here Danielle go. Extra. Read all about it. All right, let me drop this call in link and I will pin it as well. You guys in your gymnastic scores. Well, right now the Winter Olympic scores, the figure skating scores. All right. If I had to rate the entire season, though, if I had to rate it, I definitely think an 8. But now I'm leaning towards like a 9, just because we had so many monumental moments with Mary Cosby this season. Just random moments, like just a couple of weeks ago when she was just like, when Whitney walks past her and she's like, women. And I didn't even expect a smile. Wow. Winter Olympics, not hashtag Winter Olympics. All right. The backstage is full. So everyone that's backstage, once you're done with your comment, just please hang up so people can call in because they limit the amount of people that can call in. All right. Oh, and I forgot to hold on. Let me pin this. Y'all. Again, just shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. They help to keep the lights here on at the studio. But if you'd like to become a member of the channel, you don't have to. But if you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com for more details and join our texting community at TextKempire.com. That way you can get your notifications from myself. And that way you won't miss a live breaking news, all that good stuff. Be sure to check out everything that you missed here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel from over the weekend, including some Wendy Williams news and some Kanye news. A lot of Kanye news, unfortunately. So be sure to check that out as well. Right, TikTok? Yes, TikTok, you guys have news as well that I posted earlier today. All right, let's get to some of these callers. Let me turn this on. Callers, please be brief and to the point. I'm just giving you a heads up. I don't have my timer ready. So be brief, to the point. We don't need to go through the entire season. We just need to talk about the most important pressing point that you want to get to. Okay? All right. Nikolai, I want to bring up. What's going on, Nikolai?
Hey, what's up, Kempire?
How are you?
Good. The episode last night was super sad and boring, so I don't want to talk about that per se.
Okay.
I just wanted to touch base on what we talked about in the live chat, the live
watch party.
So the Mormon, their genealogy is very sacred to them. So they have it's like a database. It's not like an actual book. It's like a database and a library. Each church has like a neighborhood, which is called a ward. So each ward has like hard copies, and then their computer database is like linked to others. So if you ever want to know about your genealogy, that's definitely the place. But if you're a non-active member or you leave the church, it's fine. But if you're somebody like Whitney and you're excommunicated, you're X out of the book.
Wait, did they literally do this?
I don't know how they do it with a hard copy. I would imagine they have to white it out or something. But
no, white it out.
In the database, obviously, they just, delete you.
Delete.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you know this?
My sister's LDS.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so I know all my genealogy from that, which when I seen the comment last night about being excommunicated, it triggered it. I was like, oh, I know that answer.
And we appreciate you calling in and telling us.
Yeah, very interesting. So it is a cult for sure. That's the whole point of it. It is a cult.
Are you closing? Wait. No, wait.
Oh, no, okay. I got you.
Look, wait. Because your sister is LDS, do you guys have like a close relationship? My
sister is LDS and she's actually polygamous. She's no longer practicing, but growing up, she had a sister wife, but my sister is bisexual as well. So it was more of a throuple. And we're super close. We over the pandemic, we moved in together. But at one point when I lived with her, I was not LDS and she was very active in the church. And the church made her give me the boot. And that strained our relationship for a number of years, but we're all good now.
Oh, I'm glad. A nice, happy ending.
Yeah.
Nikolai, thank you so much for being so transparent about all of that.
Oh, for sure. I don't know how my sister feels about that, but
we won't tell her.
For sure. All right, goodbye.
Thanks so much.
Congratulations on 90K, by the way.
Thank you so much.
To 90 million.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Nikolai.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye. You too. All right. Wow. This is why I love doing this. People ask about like interviews and things like that. No, when you guys call in and you drop this type of tea, wow. His sister's interesting. I miss Big Love. Remember Big Love on HBO? Anyways, I've digressed. I'm going to bring Obi up. What's going on, Obi?
I actually remember Big Love and I love the show. Do you know my best character in Big Love? The blonde lady, the blonde wife. I think it's the second wife. The blonde one.
Yes.
That lady was something.
I can't remember the actress's name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know there were like 3 wives. She was like the second one.
Yeah.
That was a pretty interesting show. If you guys want to watch it, by the way, because I did. And that's how I learned about Mormonism the first time. But they're like the Latter-day Saints, right? Later. Anyway, let me get back to my rant. So let me get this straight. This is an immigrant who became nationalized, and she even shared on the show the struggle she's faced being a marginalized minority. but she decides to pick on the black girl. She takes it as far as attacking her for absolute no reason, nearly misses, resulting in broken pieces of champagne on the glass floor, or champagne glass on the floor, which, by the way, was a duplicate of Jen Shah's move, season 1, episode 6. And then she had the guts to say on the after show that it's therapeutic. Nice try, Jen, but that was absolutely disgusting. You should be ashamed. That was a failure. Anyway, Lisa Lobar, her sidekick, says what? I don't blame Jennie, whatever. Really, Lisa Lobar? Is that what you're gonna say? And nobody but Meredith's husband, Seth, sticks up for Mary. So my answer, Kempire, is Mary had good judgment on the reunion because it would have been Jen Shah's Cinco de Mayo party and Lisa's neon lights party all over again, adding to the cult rumors, and then we have Jennie on the stage. So if I was in Mary's shoes, I probably wouldn't have wanted to go.
Okay.
So let me tell you something, just briefly, Jennie. I was actually rooting for you. Heck, Kempire was rooting for you. People said you were a liar, you're boring, you bring nothing extra to the show. But I said, give her some time. It's just her first season. They began to call out your subtle microaggressions towards Mary. I said, no. And then Jennie from the hood came out with the black sense and the neck twisting and the yelling and the pointing and the fingers. And I said, no way. People called you racist. I said, no way. And then your Facebook is exposed. Boy, was I proven wrong. Do you know what actually bothers me more, besides being anti-black, is the post that instigates violence. To make things worse, continue to prove your ignorance by showing up with a black dude on camera. A scheme set up by Todd to come at us with the BS. Appalling. By the way, you should have saved that performance for your next wellness visit. So the last thing I'm going to say, Kempire, is on the reunion, I probably have to fast forward through her parts. And somebody said, I'm less concerned about the backlash on Jennie because it will die eventually. What I'm more concerned about is the kids having to navigate life being raised by those parents. Food for thought. And I'm out. Bye.
Bye, Obi. Everyone backstage, note to self, be shorter than Obi's usually very short and to the point. That was long. I needed to be shorter, people. All right, because I want to get to all of the callers. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says they turned Regina George on the ex-members petty. I can't. Thank you for the super chat. All right, Dorit, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Dorit?
Hi, it's been a minute. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I have to say, Jen Shah just blows my mind. She's facing years upon years in prison, but yet she holds herself together. If it were me, I would be heavily medicated, unfunctional, and probably in a psychiatric hospital. So I have to give kudos to her for really holding it together and showing up. And then, who dresses Mary Cosby? Please tell me.
Mary?
Did you see what she was wearing the last few episodes? She looks like haggard. I mean, she wears designer clothes, but they're not put together very well.
I mean, she's been doing that since season 1.
I know, but I think I'm starting to notice it more.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, but that's all. I just wanted to say, I really have to take my hat off to Jen Shah for showing up and working because, like I said, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Dorit, we appreciate you calling in.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I mean, I don't know if I give her credit because at the end of the day, she has to work because she can't do what she's been doing allegedly. So, but I don't know how she's doing it and putting on such a good face for us. Did you guys notice that her second assistant, the shady one, was wearing the t-shirt with her picture on it, and that was from the day she was arrested? Anyone else notice that? That was strange. Okay. Tawana, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Tawana?
Hi, Kim.
How are you?
So this episode really made me upset. I can't believe that none of the girls went out to help Mary after Jennie threw that drink at her. Like, now I'm side-eyeing the whole cast, and I think all of them are racist. And I really can't believe that Meredith didn't follow her because Mary held Meredith down the whole season and took up for her, and the only person that checked on Mary was Seth. And then Mary also said on the after show that Dewey was walking around a party asking people who threw the drink better, Jennie or Jen. So I'm just really upset with all of them. I'm not looking forward to season 3. I hope Mary sends Jesus after all of them. I hope nobody writes Jen any letters in jail. I am just, I don't know. I think Bravo has a problem on their hands. Like, I'm sick of seeing Black women get attacked by a group of white women. We saw this on New York with Ebony. They tried her, but she bat them girls off of her. And now we're watching this with Mary and this crew.
Yeah.
But that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Tawana, for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Mocha, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Mocha?
Hi, Kempire. Hi, chat. So, I'm disappointed more in Meredith and production. Like, you say Mary's your friend. She's the only one who gets you, who understands you. Stand up for your people. If that's your people, you stand by them. There's nothing else about it. Like, and the way, like, I'm raised, and I'm sure most of us in the chat are raised, like, your people are your people. And if you believe in them, you fight for them. And even if you don't, in public, you fight for them and you tell them off when you get home. As for Jen, like, with Mary, I'm not that disappointed. Am I annoyed as a person of color that she didn't? Yes. But they're not really friends. No. So can you really be that annoyed that she didn't do too much? Because, like, you know, as horrible as it is, but it's the way you treat people is the way you get treated back. Like, I found myself not even that interested in watching. Like, I might have watched 20 minutes of the whole thing where I was actually watching the screen. I don't think that it's going to be a productive season 3. And I agree with the last caller. Bravo needs to do something. Like, we've all been saying it for as long as we can. But, like, I've gotten to the point where I can't stand watching half of this stuff anymore. Like, it's sad and it's depressing because we go through this daily. Like, we've all said this. For people of color, we go through this daily. Why should we have to watch this crap play out on TV? Yeah. We're watching TV for the enjoyment of it. So that's it. And please share Kempire's video, guys. He's almost there. Like, he's a great content creator. So thank you, Kempire.
Thank you, Mocha. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I do want to remind you guys, it is Black History Month, and what we are doing here on the channel is raising money for the Sentencing Project. Be sure to check out our last video or any of our videos this month, and you will see a link where you can donate. So thank you to everyone that's donated so far. We are a little bit under $400 short of our $2,000 goal. So please donate what you can. We appreciate everyone that has been sharing it, donating, all of that. So thank you guys, and happy Black History Month. All right. In my opinion, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, in my opinion?
Hey, Kempire, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. I only have to talk about 2 of them, okay? Because this season was lackluster. It was way too long. It felt like 2 seasons combined, okay? And that gets me to my point of one of them. Mary Cosby. She's never had to be around these folks for that long period of time. So I can see how drained she must have been having to deal with this lady, okay? Because first of all, I don't know how many times we have to sit with Mary and she say, I don't like you. If I say I don't like you, why you keep coming for me? See, and then that's the thing. They want to drive you out. And you know what? I'm noticing that when the lady said it was a lot of racist people on here, there are. Because notice, Whitney had to do a whole post about how she said Mary was a predator.
Yep.
You know, what made her a predator to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can see you saying the cult thing, but what made her a predator to you?
But in the same breath, at the party, she's trying to apologize for calling it a cult.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, for her to say that, she meant it. Because we all know Whitney, she says what she means, and then she try to backpedal when she get caught in it. But that's the thing. If we don't start noticing these little things, these little traumas, they don't have but one Black cast member, really. And that is Mary. You know what I'm saying? Jen can say all day because she married this Coach Shah that she's Black because she got Black sons. That's fine. But you never had to deal with the struggle that we had to deal with being really minorities, being the black people that we are. You never had to deal with that struggle. You know what I'm saying? So I get her going up because she got black children, but you'll never know what it feels like to be discriminated because of your skin color, or to be looked down on because of your skin color. So now I know I'm going to stand 10 toes down that you shouldn't disrespect somebody that is trying to walk away from you. And then you throw a glass. How tacky.
That was.
You know what I'm saying? And then for her to say, she had to go to anger management classes, baby, go get all your money back. That didn't work at all. Okay. And if you broke Dewey's ribs, you know what I'm saying? How much force has she had to have her little body to break that man's ribs? Like, what did you hit him with?
Yeah. According to her, I forgot what she said. Was it a remote? I don't know. I don't believe a word that comes out of
It
Jennie.
was bigger than a remote. To break his ribs?
I know.
Dewey ain't no lightweight. But you did see the way she looked at him when he said he wanted that sister wife.
Yeah.
Well, love you, Kempire. Keep doing
Thank
your
you so much
thing.
for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. Miss Bernice, I'm going to bring you up. Guys, again, we have a long line backstage. I want to make sure that we're able to get to everyone that's calling in. If you just joined us, we're talking about the season 2 finale of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you're watching the replay, I want to know your thoughts on the season and your thoughts on what we're talking about with the callers. Miss Bernice, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. This was a hot mess. Heather and her fake memorial for her father. Come on now. Really? He's a devout Mormon. You know he wouldn't have went for that. Please, really? Whitney, she need to call Mayweather and go to Vegas and work in his club for about a month to get their money back. Since she loved being on the pole. And Mary. I may not have agreed with Mary a lot of the times, but I enjoyed Mary. And Mary was tired. Mary had already made up her mind that she was leaving, and she just had to feel her contractual obligations and be around these heifers that she don't like. And the one who's remained nameless, looking like Alex from Fatal Attraction, when she got all huffed up and everything, her hair poofed up. Really? Now, if that was me, I would have turned around and grabbed that glass and threw it right back at her.
Well, Miss Bernice, you're also from Detroit.
Because when she did that, see, you did all of that, but baby, you fired. Mary had the class to walk away. So she upped you in the end while you acting the fool.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got to say. I know my time is up.
Miss Bernice,
because you always make that like, okay, y'all, keep your time under such and such. Okay, Miss Bernice, I'm gonna put you on now.
Thank you, Miss Bernice.
Okay, thank you. Have a good one, Kempire.
Bye. Guys are a mess. Butter Cottage Buddy says, do not mess with Detroit. I'm just saying. All right. Unbothered Mary, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Unbothered Mary?
Hey, Kempire. Tyler calling from Amsterdam. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I had to stay up for this because I was really triggered by this episode. This episode really summarized why I won't be watching anymore, and I'm not really interested in the reunion. I felt how they treated Mary really triggered me on like the experience of being like the only Black woman in the workplace and dealing with harassment and nobody caring and just people laughing. So it just really, really triggered me. And Heather and Whitney really show their true colors, and I now understand why Mary called them a racist. And I really feel that Mary, or now I really understand why Mary didn't want to come to the reunion. I don't think it was not to, to explain her church, but probably because she felt nobody really cared. So why do I need to bother coming to the reunion? So, and also at the end of it, Lisa laughing at the end really like sealed the deal for me that I don't want to watch the show ever again, because it just showed you that they really don't care how they treat other women. And her laughing at the end, just, I can't explain it in words, but it just, I don't know, just boiled inside of me saying, okay, yeah, this is not the show for me, because I don't really care anymore. I do like Meredith, but everybody else I could care less. So I don't think I'll be watching the reunion. I will watch a review, but I just can't watch it anymore. I'm team Mary, justice for Mary all day, every day. I mean, she's not the perfect person, but I feel like how she was treated here summarized the whole season of how she was treated. We're only talking about Mary's church, but what about Jen and her lawsuit? What about Jen and Coach Shah? What happened to his internal bleeding? We haven't even mentioned that. So, you know, it's just, it's just, it's just too much. And Whitney, like Heather and Whitney, I'm done with them. People really need to watch the after show, because you really see their true colors and all the lies that they continue to spill out. So we can call Heather and Whitney conspiracy theorists. Lisa is, you know, one positive thing I can say about Lisa, she did not wear a pantsuit today. So that was nice. You know, we saw her in a dress for the first time. So that was nice. But other than that, I'm done with the show. So yeah, that's it. So cheers from Amsterdam. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much for calling in, and get some sleep. Oh, sorry. All right. Yeah, Carl is on point. Look, here's the thing. I think at the end of the season finale, I understood why Mary Cosby didn't come to the reunion. I had a better understanding. Yes, initially when we heard it, it was sort of like, oh, is it because of all the other stuff? But Mary Cosby hasn't really steered away from answering those hard questions, so it didn't make sense. And she has answered the question about her church allegedly being a cult. So it didn't really make that much sense, but I was like, but after seeing this final scene, I was like, oh, okay. All right. Kiana, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Kiana?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. This is my first time calling in, so I'm kind of nervous.
Okay. All right.
I just have to say, you know, like the previous caller, I think with the Housewives franchise in general, I think I'm done, because it's getting to the point, like you said, I had made a comment that, you know, they need storylines. And at this point, I think maybe Bravo just need to cast people who have things going on in their lives, because when Housewives first started, it was authentic. Nobody needed a story. Nobody even heard of the word storyline. I don't watch reality TV for a storyline. You know, it just gets too forced. To the Mary thing, I've always said I think Mary is a low-key vile human being. But however, I do get why she's mad. There's no way you're going to sit there and talk about my church. I think that's very disrespectful. You don't talk about people's religion, because religion doesn't always have the best reputation anyway. But you don't talk about people's religion. And when you do, you can't expect them to be happy about it. And you know she's a mean person, so you know she's going to say nasty things. She's a better one than me for letting Jennie throw that glass at her, because I'm from the Bronx. It would have been on and popping. I just, you know what I mean? I'm not made for reality TV. However, I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over the Housewife franchise, I think. And it's not for me. This was nasty. It was unnecessary. I honestly was done when they talked about Meredith's father's memorial. I'm like, really? That's where we're going? Like, how dare you? Like, how disrespectful. And then, like the previous caller said, why are we still not talking about Jen stealing from the old people?
Well, I think what they're going to say is because it's an ongoing criminal case. So maybe that's part of the reason.
Really?
But based off of Jen's behavior, you would never think that she's facing some serious charges and serious jail time.
I mean, well, obviously she doesn't care. She's walking around all this. I mean, it's not like she's bumming it. It's not like how Erica was at least Erica was pretending to be broke.
Was she? Like, was she?
I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, we're going to take some more calls. We have a long line backstage. So callers, one particular point that you want to talk about and it has to be about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. just in case you just clicked on a link. All right, Josie, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Josie?
Hello, Kempire. I'm back again. Hello. Well, today I was just gonna say, obviously everyone before me already said what I needed to say. The whole thing was just, it was not something that I would I already expected it from Jennie, but like it was just wrong. and no one helped her. It was just the whole thing was just a mess. But I do have to say that I did find it funny that was because Jenny's husband was just cleaning the floor. I was like, "Oh, you act like," I was like, "Wait, the guy is actually cleaning the floor." It was like cleaning. I was like, "Okay, I guess you clean up after your wife." It's kind of funny to me. What I do have to say though is that I don't understand why what's it called before the party, Jen Shah like foundation was almost the same color for foundation as me, and I know I'm a lot darker than her. I was like, that seems a little bit weird. I was like, okay, and also yeah, this whole season I would rate it like a 5. The whole season is a 5 for me because I feel like nothing really happened except for the whole Jen Shah situation and trying to figure out if maybe has a court. It wasn't like a solid season for me, and this episode was just a 3. Because nothing really fun happened except for the actual party, which was kind of crazy. It was the whole thing was just. I think I think the whole franchise, the whole Bravo thing, just needs like a cleansing. Need to cleanse the whole thing. It needs to be refreshed. Because like when Jennie threw the glass, I was like, "Girl, get your flat ass out of here!" Like her ass was like, "I can't say shit." Okay, but I'll go. Before I see what I'm supposed to say on your YouTube and get you canceled, I'm gonna just go now.
Thank you, Josie.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, guys, no cussing. All right. We're going to take some more callers, guys. But if you're watching, we already have over 1,100 people. We appreciate you guys being here for some of you tell me all the time that you don't watch the show. You only watch the recap. Thank you. We appreciate that. If you're watching the replay of this, as always, I want to know what you thought of the episode, how you would rate the season, how you would rate this episode, and some of the standout things that people are bringing up in these calls. Also, guys, don't forget a new episode of my podcast. We have a different experience. We don't talk all hot topics. We do talk about some hot topics, but I also tell you what I did over the weekend and some other stuff. Kempire Radio on all major podcast platforms. Head on over to kempireradio.com for more details. Don't forget to rate and review because it matters. All right. Krypton's Core. I'm going to bring you up. Okay, Krypton's
Hey,
Core.
what's up? Hey, what's up, Kempire? Let me just put it this way. Jenny's lucky that Mary is a black girl from Utah. Because if she was a black girl she would have turned over and beat the living daylights out of her. Dude,
I don't really know any other black girls from Utah, but I wonder if the other black girls from Utah are like, no, I can get down.
Yeah, I lived in Utah. There's hardly any. So, yeah. So. There's hardly any that were born there. They're normally transplants, you know. Okay. But it was like, but you see that the thing is like us people of color, us black people, can tell if people are vitriolic towards us. We could just tell with their energy. We can tell like if they're not gonna like me or not. Like we've lived in places. We've been in situations where we're the only black person, we're the only Latino person, and we know when the dismissiveness of other people. So she knew from the jump. Mary knew from the jump that this girl didn't like her. So she's like, I'm not gonna engage with you. I'm not going to engage with it. And then that episode is like, she's not even talking to me. She said she doesn't like you. Why the hell does you think she's going to talk to you? She said, leave me alone. She's been telling you that since episode 3. Leave me alone. I just didn't get it. And the whole that was just her. That was just Jennie to get some TV time, throwing the glass. Yeah. What the hell? Why she was so upset? You know this girl doesn't like you because she doesn't want to talk to you. You throw a glass like you're crazy. The whole episode didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
especially that part. And then and like she said, like when Lisa laughed about it, like, haha, that's fine, just don't throw away. I was like, oh hell no, dude. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But that's all. That's what I want to say. She lucky she's from Utah and not from New York. She's lucky from Utah, not from New York. Okay, I'll see you, man.
Thank you call again.
Okay.
Bye. Catherine, thank you so much for the super chat. Catherine says, I miss you, Kempire. Love you, darling. Thank you so much. We miss you too. Where you been? Look, where you been? Frank, we're going to bring you up next. All right. What's going on, Frank?
Hey, how's it going, Kempire?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know what? Everybody already said what I wanted to say, but I love Mary. I'm Mexican, and when she said something about cartels, I mean, that's really not racial or offensive, you know? I mean, I don't think so, but last night's episode with her in church, I was just cracking up laughing because she's so hilarious, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think Mary needs a storyline. The rest of them do, so that's why they come after her. That's all. That's what I think. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
I agree. That as soon as we saw Whitney trying to have a conversation and then apologize for calling her church a cult, I was just like, why are you apologizing? Oh, I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to get some more camera time in this rap party. I see what you're doing. And then also everybody, Jennie, Jen, everybody was sitting right next to Mary. Everybody wanted some camera time. All right, Joanna, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Joanna?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Good. Loving your big old gallon-sized coldest water bottle. It gave me life. I'm like, this is humongous. How is he gonna sip out of this cute on camera? Like, I've been waiting to see how you was gonna finesse that. I like it though. Okay, back to the actual topic at hand. This gives me Bravo needs a big ass overhaul because it's the exact, like, I felt the same way when she threw that glass as I did when Dorit screamed at Garcelle. Like, you know you doing this to the right person. Go to Real Housewives of Atlanta and do that. Go to Potomac and do that. You're going to get mollywopped quickly. Mollywopped. Like, as an elected official in Arkansas, I've been in rooms where the microaggressions are palpable to me, but everybody else is like, what do you mean? Maybe they just don't like you as a person. It's like, no, you don't see it, but I see it and I feel it. That energy is because I'm Black and they don't like that part. And it's very obvious to see, and she's over it. I don't blame her. I wouldn't have came to that reunion either. Y'all can take this reunion and shove it as you can with this show, because she made the show.
Yeah, she did. She was an important part of the show.
Facts. That was it.
Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Our local, well, not literally my local, but our YouTube local official. There we go.
Period. I'll always be here. Vote for me. And y'all like and share and subscribe. And congrats.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We're going to get to that good old 100,000. We're going to get to 1 million. We're going to get to 10 million. It's going to keep growing.
All right. Thank you so much, Joanna. Have a great rest of your evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. I do want to say thank you, Obi, for the super chat. He says Bravo has been disrespecting not only their Black cast, but also their Black viewers because of lack of unity. It took a good amount of white people to react for Bravo pretend. Oh, I love when Obi. Thank you, Obi. You didn't have to do that, but thank you for highlighting other people's comments. We appreciate that. Okay. We have a few more callers that we're going to get to. We have about 3 more callers. There we go. And then we're going to call this a wrap. Guys, happy President's Day. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I did. And if you want to hear more about it, tune into my podcast episode, Kempire Radio. All right, Aniva, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Aniva?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Pretty good. What are your thoughts on this episode? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. On this episode, I didn't watch the whole episode, honestly. I just like last week when I saw the preview of like Jennie throwing the glass, I was honestly over it. I just want to talk about like Bravo and like what everyone else has said about how like they're just very disrespectful and problematic. I think that Bravo just needs to end, period, because I think Bravo and Andy are a problem. The way we look at Tyra right now is the way we're going to be looking at Andy 2 years or 3 years later. He's problematic, period. And I'm really happy that people are actually talking about it today now, because I felt like this 3 weeks ago, honestly. I think Andy has a problem. He is the problem. I'm so sorry to say this, but that's just the truth. And I really just can't wait for Bravo to end, or for them to actually choose to be responsible and actually bring in the diversity they're trying to bring in and be held accountable. So yeah, I'm really happy that people are actually seeing it now, because I felt like this like 3 weeks ago and I was just really frustrated. I'm like, we just need to end Bravo because they're just problematic. And I'm happy that Nene is kind of being justified, because I think at that time people just thought, oh, Nene is a problem. She's just, you know, she just wants all the money, all the attention. But I think these were actually problems inside it. And I really hope that someone like Candy, should kind of like streamline things, having like, I think she's one of Andy's favorites, so I'm really hoping she can either kind of streamline things or step out. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aniva. Oh, I love it. Aniva just got to the point. All right. Look, I've said this before. You know, I know some people think it's like I hate Andy. No, but I feel like Andy is refusing to evolve his franchise. His franchise was successful in one particular way, but if you refuse to evolve, including give up the seat at the reunion, that is part of the reason why the ratings are declining across all the cities. And that's why allegedly Watch What Happens Live was almost canceled. But yes, let's renew it for 2 more seasons and the ratings are worse than some of your other shows. Okay. All right. This is why I'm going to be on YouTube. All right, Daniel, we're going to bring you up. What's going on, Daniel?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. So I wanted to talk about the season as a whole, how it was like it started to like pick up towards the middle. And we talked about Jen Shah, how she was allegedly scamming people. And then we went into Mary, which then scared them off. And then Jennie, the sister wife thing. So like, why didn't they continue off with that towards the end? And then the fact that how it just continued to drag while Whitney was always drunk attacking Mary. So I didn't like that at all. So as a whole, I think the season was not so good. Like what happens to Jen? Like why isn't anybody getting on Jen? And then the fact that Meredith's son was attacked by Jen, calling her son a twink. You know, like that's offensive. So like what happened to that also? Yeah. You know, so they want to focus on Mary, but they didn't actually like address the other situations that happened mid-season, and it took so long to get there. It dragged out so much. Yeah. So like I think Andy should like really focus on trying to hire better people instead of trying to turn everybody else down. So that's what I think about that.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Everyone, you guys have strong opinions. Replay crew, what is your opinion on all of what's happening over at Bravo? I do find it interesting, though, that a lot of people are getting very tired of the Real Housewives franchise, y'all. It's not a good look. That's why it's important to continue evolving. Just saying. Okay. Queen, we're going to bring up Queen for a quick comment. What's going on, Queen?
Hey, Kempire. Thank you so much for having me. I love watching you. I'm going to speak to Jennie real quick and the whole Mary situation. So there's one thing I'll say is we have to recognize the history of Utah and really think about many of the Black folks who migrated to Utah. It was not on their own. It was through enslavement, and that has an impact on the community of Utah today. And when people were free, they then converted over to LDS. It doesn't mean that white supremacy and discrimination didn't that it went away. So I really think it's important for us to name that. And there's a way that people have subconsciously or maybe consciously ingrained ways that they see Black women. And I think that Jennie honestly threw the glass because she did not have the language to articulate her feelings and wanted Mary to respond with violence, which then would have felt into this idea of who Mary is. She's this mean-spirited person. She's a terrible person. And while people might believe she's not nice, I think that Jennie intentionally was trying to get a rise out of her to support her own idea, honestly, of this angry Black woman who runs a cult. It would kind of be like, here's the demon coming out that I was trying to reveal to you all. And I don't think she did that. So I think that's one thing that's important to name. And as folks continue to say, what about what Mary did? We're so focused on Jennie. It still presents a double standard. There are many times where Mary has addressed what she did, named that she did not see it as ignorant, and she continued to apologize. And yet we continued, or not we, others continue to support the behavior of Jennie that was bullying. And I think ultimately a form of violence against Mary, because it is inherently a part of the way that I think she views people beneath her. And also she's white adjacent. Let's just be honest about passing in our society. And we're not just talking about racism, as you've stated, but we're talking about anti-Blackness. So I think it's important for people to do some deeper research into understanding how that shows up in people's behavior. But I love you, and it's so exciting to finally catch a live. So thank you.
We appreciate you, Queen. All right. I see. Oh, I see Amy J's backstage. Guys, we're going to take one last caller. I appreciate you all being here for our recap of the season finale, season 2 finale of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Here's the thing. I love that we're having these conversations because what Queen brought up is so important. That's one of the good things about reality TV is that it stirs conversations like this. But I do think Bravo has a problem, and I think their focus on trying to be more diverse was just a response. It was a reactive response to everything that was happening during the pandemic. I don't think that they really took that in, and that's why we're going back to having the issues that we were having with Bravo before. So, okay, Amy, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I have a rating for you and your recaps.
Oh.
You got a 10 because I have not watched the show. I have not watched the show, but I see everybody's up in arms. Listen, we do need equity and diversity, which means our voices need to be heard and need to be considered when we are talking about these tough topics. But I have to say, we can't just like throw Bravo away. It's been our baby for like 10 years. So,
More than 10 years.
and I say this but kind. Like, I understand people are upset and frustrated because I saw the clip and it was hard to watch. I don't really watch Utah so much as I watch the other franchises because I haven't got into it. But I just feel like, as long as we keep putting our voices out and saying that we want equity in the as viewers in what they choose to show and how they choose to represent this diversity they put on television, but don't throw the whole franchise, Bravo away. We've been with Housewives and we deserve to have our voices heard, but don't take this one incident and say let's throw it away, even though it's a number of incidents. But I'm just saying, it's like,
I was like, wait, it wasn't just one.
It's a number of incidents, but I feel like we have platforms like Kempire where things are being heard. Like in general, like the more you're on these platforms, they listen to them, and hopefully they will take that in consideration when they are talking about recasting Utah or bringing people on there, because what happened was disgusting. I saw that no one came to her aid. I don't know Mary's character, but somebody throwing something at somebody and attacking her as a group of people. That was wrong. Yeah. So I'll say that. But ultimately, I love your recap, Kempire. And you get 10s across the board.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I appreciate that. I get 10s across the board. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Guys, here's the thing. Here's my final thoughts. Final thoughts on this season finale and this season as a whole for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It was way too long. But if you go back to our past recaps, I said the season really began when Jen Shah got arrested. And it wasn't about Jen Shah getting arrested. It was everyone reacting to that. But we had how many episodes before they went off to Vail? This was a long season. And I don't know why they decided to go into a 21st episode. And we're like still talking about everything that's happening with this show. I don't blame Mary Cosby for not coming to the reunion. As I said before, I wasn't sure. I was like, did she not want to answer the question? She doesn't seem like she'd be afraid to answer these questions. But then we also were talking possibly about the interviews that were being done. Remember, her mom did an interview, her uncle did an interview, a cousin did an interview. So I said maybe, but they were doing interviews last year too. Her mom didn't do an interview, but they were doing interviews last year. And her mom didn't say anything that made us say, damn, Mary, you got some splaining to do. So after watching this episode, I understood why Mary Cosby may have decided not to come to the reunion. It just felt like she wouldn't have any allies at this reunion. But that's it for Mary Cosby. Mary Cosby is officially gone, not returning. I mean, if we're hoping for another Black person to replace her, you heard what the caller said. There's not that many Black people in Utah. She's literally a unicorn. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts. Replay crew, let me know what you thought of the season, what you thought of the episode. We will continue the conversation in the comment section. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, it was a subscribers only live chat. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, join our texting community at TheKempire.com. And I saw someone ask how they can join the membership of the channel. Head over to TheKempire.com Or if you're watching on your computer, just click the join button under the video. And I want to say thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Thank you to again to our Team Kempire Royal Court members. And guys, don't forget to show love to our moderators. Thank you to the moderators for allowing us to have an open conversation, because these conversations, especially when we're talking about Salt Lake City, it goes on so many different levels. We're talking about cults, we're talking about race, we're talking about racism, we're talking about a lot of different things. So shout out to the moderators, shout out to everyone watching on multiple platforms. TikTok, we see you guys. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, and of course, our YouTube fam. Thank you to all of you for being here. I appreciate you. To the road to 100,000 subscribers, as you saw a lot of people calling in and saying that we are right around the corner. But I'm like, look, I'm already thinking about what are we going to do next? What are we going to do? What's the next milestone? But as we always say, enjoy every single milestone, like we did last week with 90,000 subscribers. Thank you to our growing community. You guys are the best, some of the most intelligent, some of the most funny, some of the most honest. We love it. As you know, here on the channel, we celebrate differing opinions. So feel free to share your opinion. Even if you're like, Mary's a terrible person, Jennie is good. I don't know. We celebrate your opinions, but as always, we don't moderate adults. Have fun in the conversation and be respectful to each other. I can take your criticism because I don't have time to read all of it. Is what it is. Let's get out of here. You know what we do here on the channel. We get out of here with some music. So let's play some music, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, we are raising money for the Sentencing Project in honor of Black History Month. After the live, you will have a link available on this video, but just head on over to the last video that we posted, and you'll be able to donate there. Let's get to that 200, not 200. Ooh, I'm about to say 200,000 to the $2,000 mark. Thank you to everyone that sent, again, a super chat, and thanks to everyone that has been supporting that fundraiser as well. Have a wonderful evening, y'all. I will see you guys later. All right. Wait, hold on. Brittany says, Kempire, you should celebrate your 100K outside the courthouse at Jen Shah's trial. Why don't we do something together versus that? Why don't we do something together instead of me out in the cold? Mind you, it's cold. It's cold again in New York. I want to be outside celebrating my 100K with Jen Shah. Anyways, let's get out of here, y'all. I know what song I want to play. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Thank you again to all the callers. Thanks to everyone that was here, part of the conversation. I could be talking to myself, but I was talking with you guys. Have a good night.
You mess this up like you always do. You want me back, but I'm through with you. You say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? And I know nothing stays still the same. I'm so done and I'm tired of this back and forth. Now you're in my head and in my bed, telling me it's over 'cause I'm not enough. You need more than my love as I watch you walk away. But tomorrow you'll say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? And I know nothing stays still the same. I'm so done and I'm tired of this back and forth. Back and forth. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic evening. See you guys tomorrow. Well, or the next video. You know how it is.